And for those who enjoy this channel and would love to support us financially, please feel free to hit that donate link. We'd greatly appreciate it. God bless.
Hey guys, today I'm going to be discussing placental and marsupial similarities, as well as how those similarities are indeed evidence for creation. To start off, I want to discuss briefly the differences between placental and marsupial mammals. Both give birth to live young, but placental mammals spend more time in the womb. They're also nourished by a placenta. Marsupial mammals are born earlier on, and they spend more time developing in pouches. So yeah, I'll go ahead and move on to discussing the similarities. Because God created all life, and because He's the master engineer, we'd expect Him to use certain biological designs more than once. In the same way, you'd expect a car engineer to use a similar design for two different cars. Some of the best examples of common design can be found through observing how some placental mammals have very strikingly similar marsupial counterparts. They're not just kind of similar, it's not a trivial similarity, they're very similar. As you can see, I posted some photos for comparing placental and marsupial counterparts. Also, I wanted to add on real quick, they just recently found another example of a marsupial placental counterpart, and it was basically a marsupial cat. It was the same size as a cat, and it was just biologically similar, so that's another interesting thing I wanted to add on there. But to conclude, I want to go into a little more detail as to why these similarities are evidence for creation and not evolution. So the evolutionists would say, these similarities are an example of convergent evolution. However, if evolution were indeed true, we would expect to find a few isolated, trivial examples of convergent evolution, but there are numerous astounding similarities found between unrelated lineages, not just in placental and marsupial similarities, but other similarities you can find throughout nature. Evolutionary mechanisms can only do so much, especially in a naturalistic scenario. You see, they aren't sentient, have no real foresight. Realistically, there seems to be only two options for rationally and logically explaining this level of similarity, with both being theistic or maybe intelligent design friendly in nature. One option is that the recurring features are a result of structuralist-like laws described by the agnostic intelligent design advocate Michael Denton. So his main argument here is that there are laws which govern how life arises and diversifies. So as he claimed, since we have vertebrates here, if we found life on other planets, there'd be vertebrates there too, because that's just how life arises in the same way, because of these laws that govern how life can arise. So in that view, you would expect to see such similar features appearing several different times in separate lineages. So that makes more sense in comparison to the neo-Darwinian explanation. Of course, the other option, which is the true option, and it's obvious, is that God created different kinds with similar design features, and like I said, you can see these similar designs not just in marsupial and placental counterparts, but all throughout nature. It's pretty easy to find these similarities. But yeah, that was my presentation on that. I just thought that was an interesting topic. It's something I've covered this topic in another hangout with Standing for Truth briefly, but I wanted to elaborate on it a little bit more. So hope you enjoyed it, guys, and thanks for watching. God bless.
For all those who appreciate the work that we're doing here on Standing for Truth, please hit that subscribe button, because we are just getting started.